right. I'm here to do my mom's eulogy, and this is my fourth attempt. I've now had to turn off the air conditioner because every time I start, that damn thing gets going and really just kills the groove I get into. Um, so, with that being said, welcome. If uh, if you're watching this, you knew my mom most likely. Uh, I know a lot of people are like, oh, this person was universally loved and all this stuff. In this particular case, I don't know many people that disliked her. Uh, you know, not a lot of people can really honestly say that. We all want to do freaking rose-colored glasses, when they're past, but I don't know. I didn't know many people did not like my mom. She wasn't like me. I have several mortal enemies. I don't think she really did. Uh, so kudos to her for being that type of person. Very sociable, happy-go-lucky person. Uh, always, uh, always engaging like with people. Very, I don't know. I'm such an introvert. She was very much polar opposite. Uh, that was a cool aspect of her. Uh, I'm gonna share a few stories. I'm gonna shake the camera with my leg. Good lord. All right. Uh, so once again, if you know her, if you really knew her, there's like these layers, right? Everybody's got layers. Like circles, and the deeper you go into the circle, less and less people know some of these things. Uh, but I feel like a lot of people may have known how incredibly stubborn she was. Um, it's one of those lovely traits that I learned from her because growing up in the household that I did, you either learned to stand firm, stand your ground, and learned how to argue, or you got walked all over. So, yeah, that was something I learned. Uh, and, even in her older years, she loved to argue. Uh, Maybe not so much with a lot of other people, but my goodness, her and I would go back and forth. And uh, as she got older, it was funny because would she'd play stupid, I'm just an old lady. I don't know what's going on, and just try to watch the chaos ensue. And then you get caught up in all the ruckus, and then you sit there and you think, wait a second, I'm calling nonsense here, calling shenanigans. I'd call her out, and then if you pay attention, there'd just be like this little thing, and she'd just have a little slight grin. And at that moment, you realized you caught her in one of her devious little lies, and she's been having fun playing everybody the whole time, and good on her. Like, uh, that's funny. That's just straight up funny to create a little chaos. She absolutely loved it. Uh, as for things she really liked, she enjoyed games. She enjoyed card games, board games, bingo. Oh my god, bingo. Not many boys can live their childhood going to bingo 3 nights a week. I did. Look at me now. But it was fine. She loved her bingo, especially when I was growing up. Always loved cards. She taught me cards at a very young age. Learned, aside from your basic games, your old maid and stuff. But like, I learned rummy, blackjack, poker, all kinds of poker games, pinochle, uh, and I don't know. I learned them very young, and to this day, I love cards, and that's definitely from her. So, I love board games too, but there's something special about card games. Uh, I think a lot of people like card games, but uh, there's some people that love card games. I'm definitely in that ladder, as was she. For board games, God, as a kid, we'd play Candyland a lot, and then she'd get up, go to the bathroom, and then I'd cheat because I'm a horrible human being, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, I love to cheat at Candyland. She probably did the same thing if I got up, go to the bathroom. Uh, I don't know. We played all kinds of stuff. Battleship, Connect Four. Uh, I can't. She liked Dizzy Dizzy Dinosaur. Let me know if you remember that game. It was from the 80s. Uh, and Categories was a favorite of hers. And that was something that, when I'd have friends over, sometimes we'd do some games. And then when I had girlfriends, she liked playing Monopoly. And the best part was she always would try to team up with whoever the other person was to try to take me down. That was always the fun thing. Me versus them. And it was a smart way to bond with these people, a little teamwork and all this stuff. And I don't know, I got to play the villain. I don't mind playing the villain. I like it. So, uh, that sort of thing may ring true to some of you. Probably played poker with us at some point or something of that nature. Uh, she liked crafts. Uh, I know she liked, I don't know, like doing ceramic stuff when she was younger. I think before I came along and ruined the life, I guess. But later on in life, I don't know, the past 5, 10 years or so, she kind of got into doing a little bit of painting and some neat little crafts like hanging stuff on the wall. She did a lot of stuff with my younger brother Jake, and she had a great time with that stuff. And I'm happy she did that. Uh, I'm also happy that she didn't do that stuff with me because I have no talent. I think she knew early on I had no artistic talent or integrity, so it was like, well, let's play cards. Or she liked playing Duck Hunt. She liked Duck Hunt and Mario. She was terrible at both, but she liked them. But yeah, just we her and I personally, like, we didn't do the craft stuff. I guess I really didn't have much interest. We did do some jigsaw puzzles though. That used to be fun. Uh, she also, and once again, if you knew her on even a semi-remote basis, you knew she loved to cook. And I feel like this is almost like cliche to say, like, oh, my mom was a very good cook, blah blah blah. Yeah, we all grow up on our parents cooking by and large, and I think mostly we tend to like our parents cooking. But no, she was a really good cook. Uh, Cook, baker, all that stuff. The last, you know, last 5, 10 years, maybe not as great, not as stellar. Uh, she would often fall asleep while something was in the oven, and that poor smoke alarm got a workout. Uh, but, when she was on, she was on. And otherwise, you were not walking into flavor country. Let me tell you that. Sometimes it was bad. And I as a kid I hated it, and as an adult I hated this dreadful infamous phrase of hers. I have a new recipe that I want to try. Let me tell you, those words scared the hell out of me because there was only like maybe a 20% success ratio with something new. The things she knew how to do, tried and true, still good. New recipes, oh, not. Like, I can probably think of just a handful of things over the past few years that she did pick up on and did good. She did some like good pineapple cookies. I don't know. She did some like coconut chicken. That was good. But then there was all the failures. and there were a lot. But kudos to her for trying so many. She loved to try it, and I guess I'm not nearly as adventurous, to be perfectly honest. Uh, Moving onward, I would say, uh, from a personal standpoint, I mean, obviously she left a bit of an impact on me. I think that's fair to say. Uh, but one of the biggest things was when I was young, very young, like 4, 5, 6, she got me into horror movies. And I remember The Shining. Uh, and keep in mind, most of these things, they didn't give me nightmares. The Shining could at times, the hedge garden maze, I don't know, that bothered me as a kid. But The Shining was cool. Amityville Horror, I think the thing that scared me was, I don't know if they're flies. I think there were flies on the priest. Like that scene just creeps me out. Jaws. Jaws was just a blast. Uh, An American Werewolf in London, I got to watch one night because my parents were playing Pinochle with my grandparents, and they're like, "Go ahead, watch whatever." And it was like 11 at night or something. And I'm like, "Okay." I flipped through, and there was a movie about these two American dudes in London at the slaughtered lamb, and then, well, I mean, if you've seen the movie, you know how that unfolds, and it was awesome as hell. Uh, and the other thing I was there's a few things, but I think when she first got her first VCR, I think the first thing we rented was Halloween, and I regret I'm wearing my Jason shirt. I have a Halloween shirt, but that's okay. Uh, she had seen Halloween in the theater and she loved it, and so she wanted me to watch it. I was like, all right, I'm just a dumb kid. I mean, that's a choice as a parent to be like, hey, 6-year-old, let me introduce you to slasher movies. But I loved it. Loved it. Uh, and she wasn't one of those parents that like made me close my eyes. It was like, because first like 3 minutes of Halloween, we got some topless girls. There was, you know, it was fine. Like, it was just kind of like a normal thing. And I appreciate that in hindsight. Like, I don't know. To me, it's just weird to censor so much stuff. I don't know. I find it weird. I grew up not having stuff censored all that much. Uh, so none of that stuff ever really took hold. But yeah, Halloween, that was a good time. Uh, I remember the music was so cool in that movie. And then, as years went on, she would take me to the theater. I know my very first movie that she took me to was E.T. In that year for Christmas, did I have some E.T. stuff? And yeah, E.T. That still cool movie. Uh, and then like in the 90s, if anybody remembers, in the 90s, like every year ABC would have like a Stephen King miniseries, whether it was It or the freaking Langoliers, Rose Red, the Shining remake. uh, I don't know, there was a lot. But there was also Stephen King's Storm of the Century, and she just gravitated toward that movie. She loved winter settings. I think she really liked the character. She liked the hometown vibes of it. The villain Andre Lenoge was so cool in it, and her and I watched that movie quite a bit. It was 4.5 hours long, and actually just last year, we sat down, we watched it. Well, I sat down and watched it. She did the the normal Mary thing where she gets like half hour in and just falls asleep, uh, and then wake up and just, oh, I wasn't sleeping. Oh, okay, you know. Uh, but I was happy we got a chance to do that last year because she'd been in and out of the hospital so much. So yeah, we sat down, we had dinner, watched Storm of the Century. Um, I don't know. I remember she rented Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1 and 2 for me to bring up to my cousins. I watched it with like Bambi and Rhonda. And that's a weird choice, right? That is a weird choice, but it was a good time. Of course, it was a great time. And uh, Anybody who listens to the podcast, Kenter, at your own risk, you may be familiar with the story. I think it was 1992. A Stephen King movie came out. At that point, I loved Carrie, The Shining, Firestarter, Children of the Corn, Christine, so on and so forth. And new Stephen King movie is coming out. Stupid me, I'm just a kid. I'm looking at the trail. I'm like, ooh, vampires. What's this movie called? Oh, Sleepwalkers. All right, well, we should go see that in the theater. Easter Sunday, you say? Okay. And then we saw it. And as an 11-year-old, I didn't fully understand everything I was seeing. But if you know Sleepwalkers, there's like a whole thing about the mother-son incestuous vampire thing. And whew, that was a choice to ask your mom to go see. So that's been a long-running gag on the podcast. And if you've never seen Sleepwalkers, go out of your way, watch it. It's not great. It's not horrible, but you'll laugh if you can picture 11-year-old me bringing my mom to the movie theater to see that on Easter Sunday. And to kind of go right along the topic here, she always liked the movie Flowers in the Attic. And that came up on Lifetime. That was like one of the few. You had a handful of Lifetime movies that were on like monthly. You had Flowers in the Attic. You had Not Without My Daughter with Sally Field and I can't think of the dude's name. Alfred Molina. But Flowers in the Attic she loved. And I gotta ask. People my age. Did your mom have some V.C. Andrews books? Because come find out, a lot of my friends, their moms had V.C. Andrews. V.C. Andrews did the Flowers in the Attic series and Petals in the Wind and whatever. And now at my age, I'm like, what the hell? Why was that so popular? Like, it's like this whole story, like, with incest. Why was this such a popular series? I'm baffled, utterly baffled by this, but it makes me laugh now to know. How she even tried getting me to like start reading the books. I was stubborn. I didn't want to read, but yeah, she loved those books. I grew an affinity for Louise Fletcher in that movie, and then gosh. Much later in life did I get to see One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest where she was Nurse Ratched. Moving right along, I will say something that I don't think is controversial, but some of you might. My mom liked holidays. She loved them. She liked them when she was young. She liked them when I was young. And she liked them even when she wasn't supposed to be liking them. So, to anybody who that may concern, joke on that one. She loved holidays. And as I went through pictures, yes, there was a lot of Christmas ones, but there was a lot of Easter pictures. I think she really liked Easter. Which makes it all worse that I made her see freaking Sleepwalkers. What a freaking thing that was. But Easter was cool for me because, and she even told me, she's like, I know we can't do, I was born December 10th. So like being that close to Christmas, you kind of get your gifts kind of thinly stretched out. So Easter, she would always give me something a little extra, a few extra gifts on top of the candy, which I clearly needed because I'm a freaking glutton. And yeah, there was just a lot of cool Easter pictures that I went through, and you know, even when she got with the group that she ended up with in her later years, she still liked the holidays. She liked going out and just looking at Christmas lights when they were up. Because who doesn't like Christmas lights? You gotta be some real sick bastard to not like Christmas lights. Yeah, I'm talking about you sick bastards. Uh, yeah, she liked it. She still wanted to have Thanksgiving dinner. She wanted an Easter dinner. You know, she liked that stuff. And I'm sure that may upset a few people listening to this. And quite frankly, that brings me a lot of glee. It brings me as much glee to know that it upsets you as much as it brought glee to her to go see all the neat things. And I'm happy she got to enjoy it. Even if it was in a little secret, whatever. Secrets out of the bag, whatever. You know, uh, I, oh, I'm already going really long on this. I'll say one of my fondest memories is once again 1992, Nine Deuce. Uh, that summer we had the Summer Olympics, and that was the first year the NBA allowed its pro basketball players to be on the Olympic team. They called it the Dream Team. We wouldn't have another Dream Team this good until O.J. Simpson, had his lawyer team. But McDonald's, they had this special promotion. I don't even know what the extra value meal was, but it correlated. But they had these tall plastic cups with each player, so there was 12 of them. And after the first couple, I'm like, I want them all. You know, this was basically Pokemon before Pokemon, and it was way cooler than Pokemon. Gotta have them all. And that summer, we went so many places to try to hunt them down, especially like the last two or three. That was a real chore. We'd do Amsterdam, Gloversville, Johnstown, Saratoga, Glens Falls, Warrensburg, uh, Lake George. I'm trying to think. We hit up so many places just to finally get all the cups. We finally did, and to this day, I can honestly say I can see them right now. I can see the cups. They're a little faded. Not too bad though. I've kept them pretty good, and yeah, it's one of those weird things I treasure. Just that time trying to hunt down these stupid cups. So that was a good time. And I'm not sure how I wanted to address this, but I'll say my mom had the displeasure of marrying the man that she did. And be that as it may, despite everything, all the bad stuff, which there was a lot of bad stuff, uh, through it all, and even afterward, she was always very kind, generous, put up with way, 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 way too much stuff from that man. And through it all, she still was kind, still forgiving, far more forgiving than I'll ever be. And that kind of goes to show the character. And that's, it's a hell of a quality if you can pull it off. I can't. She did, though. Even to her own detriment, she still pulled it off. And that's pretty cool. And I'll say, to wrap this up because it's almost 25 minutes long here. Jeez, I need to learn when to shut up, huh? I want to say that she was she was just a kind person. Like, she was always really good to, like, my friends. When I was young, have friends over. When I was old and I'd have friends over, she was just, a genuinely good person. She loved kids, uh, and she just tried to enjoy her life, uh, to its to her fullest. Whatever she wanted to make of it, she did. And that's cool. And as I've told a lot of people, she had a good death. She had a very good death, as far as starting the day with a heart attack, then thinking she was fine, then finding out that her heart was just not gonna hold up, and be given the opportunity to get some people over, be surrounded by the people she wanted to be. Uh, not everybody, of course, but it's a freaking hospital room. You can't quite have 100 people, but she got to have people around her that she wanted, and she got to laugh, joke, tell a few stories, and when it was time, she said it was time. She got some good drugs in her, and she got to pass away peacefully, surrounded by good people. And that when you think about, that's the way to go out. Uh, that nobody wants to die alone, or most people don't. I don't know. I don't want to say nobody, but most people don't want to die alone. So, she had a good death, and maybe that's weird to say, but I mean, if you can die peacefully, sign me up. I'm probably going to die in some like hideously embarrassing way. She got to go out in a good way. So, uh, kudos for that. Life will not be the same without her, and I'm already finding myself missing the banter on the phone. I find myself missing, uh, just going through her stupid grocery list and be like, you really think this is a good idea? Yeah. Okay, let's do it. We'd go back and forth on all sorts of things, and I do miss that. I miss the antagonizing by her than me, than her than me. We'd bounce back and forth. I miss all that stuff. Uh, so it's going to take some getting used to, of course. But she made a very good impact upon me, and I think most people that she had the opportunity to make an impact upon. So with that, thank you for listening to this very long-winded thing, and yeah, I'll talk to all of you some other day. All right.